Hey guys, I'm JanetOnOccasion, and today we got a new thing. It's a new thing, guys. It's Thorek Ironbrow. He's the Free-LC that's coming out alongside the Silence and the Fury DLC. He's not the only Free-LC, though. So there's this guy, there's the Beastman rework. There's a whole new Beastman rework coming, as well as a Dwarf rework. We've already had one of those. We're getting another one. We're getting a Dwarf re-rework. So I guess Thorek has been doing some tinkering in the background to bring us even better Dwarf campaign mechanics, which is pretty sick. They're pretty cool as well, so I can't wait to get into those. There is also a Bray Shaman Lord Free-LC, which is a Total War Access exclusive, so Google Total War Access if you don't know what it is. You're probably missing out on a bunch of free content already if you haven't, if you've never bothered to sign up for that. And there's also Ogre Mercenaries are being added to the campaign for all factions. All factions can now hire Ogre Mercenaries, which we'll get into, but it's down to a random event. So if we don't bump into them during this episode, I will tack on a little thing at the end to be like, look, here they are, and this is how they work. That's if we don't bump into them organically. Hopefully we will. Hopefully we will. But we may not. It will be down to chance. So anyway, Thorek Ironbrow, the brand new dwarf, and I'm going to play as the Vortex, his Vortex campaign. I think the Vortex campaign is better for him, honestly. A lot of his whole campaign is about treasure hunting. We're going to be running around finding treasures, and I think it makes a lot more sense to do that on a more contained map. It makes more sense from sort of a story perspective, I find. It seems to have been written for Vortex, I think. So we're going to be playing on the Vortex. I recommend you guys do too when you bump into it. What is nice is a lot of you might be thinking, oh, but this is the Free-LC, but I don't own dwarfs. I don't own Warhammer 1 or any of the DLC for the dwarfs. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You are going to get the dwarfs for free if you only own Warhammer 2. So you won't get all the DLC units, but the base faction that you would get from Warhammer 1, you're going to have those. You're going to have all those units with Thorek Ironbrow leading them, which is really cool. So we're essentially getting a free faction if you don't already own them, which is really cool. So also, suitable climate, jungle, so we're not restricted just to mountains. Oath gold from buildings, up 50%. Oath gold cost for crafting runes goes down 50%. What's that then? What's crafting runes with oath gold? We'll get to that. Hero recruit rank, plus 5 for runesmiths, which is very good. Upkeep, minus 25% for runesmith heroes. Also, for the Lord's army, for Thorek's army, we get plus 3 armor piercing for all of his units, plus 10 armor for all of his units, and reload time reduction, minus 15% for bolt throwers, grudge throwers, and quarrelers. These are the traditional units. Okay, he's a very traditional guy. None of that gunpowder nonsense. Except, I guess, blasting powder for mining. That's allowed, I suppose. But no, he's traditional stuff, so all the traditional units get a lot more flavour in his campaign, which I very much enjoy. So, let's get to it. Oh, we're playing on hard and hard, by the way, so nothing too difficult that we're going to have to be, babysitting regions, but, some challenge. So, let's get to it.
From one land infested with blasted Raki to another, it seems the only difference is the heat. These vermin best stay out of my way, else they'll meet the mighty steel of my hammer. It seems a local clan has made their home here. Might be they know something about the ancient vaults that lie hidden in these strange mountains. This forsaken continent may be where the purpose of my journey is fulfilled. If the old texts speak true, a trove of ancient Dawi artifacts lays buried somewhere near, hidden amidst these strange, forgotten ruins of centuries past. This land could hold the key to restoring the proud legacy of our people. In King Cazador's name, I will unearth the lost relics of our ancestors and bring glory to the Dawi once more.
Wonderful. So, I'm not going to read all of this. But the Artifact Vault is the point of his campaign, so I will read this bit. It is Thorek Ironbrow's personal quest to seek out the lost artifacts of the Dwarf's Golden Age. By collecting parts of ancient items recorded in the Book of Grudges, he can return them to the Artifact Vault and reforge them to receive their powerful benefits. Accessed via the Forge, the Artifact Vault reveals the location of each artifact part, which can only be retrieved through occupation or military alliances. So I like that we got the option to conquer or befriend, I suppose. So you can win this campaign by playing nice with people, though it really depends on who owns the territory that houses the artifact piece that we need. So first up, we've got some missions to go through from King Cazador. That's right, we are taking orders from our king back home in the old world, which I think is rather fun. So, our foes are numerous, and each one of them stands in our way of glory. Capture the nearby settlement and demonstrate the true power of the Anvil of Doom. What accent was that, Janet? All of them. It was all of the accents, guys. It was all of them. That's right. Only on this channel. Subscribe for more. So anyway, you can get out of the way now. Good boy. So, first off, we can see right at the top, we have the Artifact Vault here. So, it's hard to tell, but there are little pips underneath that are currently empty, but they will fill up as we gain more artifacts. So by collecting the necessary parts from around the campaign map, unique and powerful artifacts can be reforged. Locations of artifact parts are revealed in the Artifact Vault tab within the Forge. Reforge any 5 artifacts to unlock the final battle. Pretty cool stuff. So we're going to want to check that out. So it did say that they're actually in the book, and you'll see we do start with a bunch of grudges, one for each of the artifacts lost. So we do start with quite a big chunk of the grudge, I don't know what to call this, thing. The grudge thing is full. So yeah, so this will give us additional grudges, but with additional grudges, with additional severity, we actually up the chance of getting free slayers, which I think is awesome. So yeah, on turn start, moderate chance that slayers will be added to the Regiment of Renown pool. So now what is completely lore friendly is the fewer grudges you have, the fewer slayers are going to be born into the world. The more grudges you have, the more slayers are going to turn up, because that's what slayers are. Slayers are a result of something bad happening on their watch, and that usually causes a grudge, you know? If we're wronged by someone, it probably means that a dwarf has messed up to allow that wrong to take place. And so what better way to remedy that than to take the Slayer's Oath and march to war to try and right those wrongs. So you'll see, if we go to the Regiment of Renown, there are slots for Giant Slayers and Slayers now. Does that mean that we can't get Slayers any other way? Nope. These are bonus. These are bonus Slayers that we can get. We can still get the Slayer Shrine and recruit Slayers like normal, but it just means that there's a chance, if we're doing badly and getting a lot of grudges and losing a lot of land and territory, putting a lot more entries in the book, that we'll be able to have more troops, more Slayers to be able to throw out and try and help remedy things, which I think is great. It's so dwarfy. Also, it did mention the Forge, so this is where we will rebuild all of these artifacts, and they each come with global benefits, which are really cool. So, we can get a Ghost, we can get a Carnosaur, which is awesome. That's right, we can get dinosaurs as a dwarf now. That is so cool. Also, we get a bunch of huge buffs here. So these 3 are sort of global buffs to various things. So extra range for, extra range, missile strength, ammunition, reload time reduction for bolt throws, grudge throws, quarrelers, cool stuff like that. Extra oath gold per turn and extra armor, tradable resources up, stuff like that. So some really cool stuff. Also, if you click on any of these different items, we need both to reforge each thing. It'll show you where they are. So there you go. We can see where they are. And you'll notice there's actually a lot of places on the map where we've got these little rings of runes going around. So these are where all the different items are. Most of them are in Lustria, though there is one over here in the Southlands, and there is one in sort of Warhammer Mexico, I guess, in Warhammer Central America. So, yeah, some cool stuff. But there's a lot nearby, but we do need 2 parts to every artifact. So we will have to build those. But the Forge isn't just about artifacts. There's also all the usual stuff, the weapons, the armor, the talismans, the enchanted items. This stuff was all in the previous Dwarf rework. But as well as that, we now have character runes and banner runes. So character runes we equip on characters, and banner runes we equip on characters as followers, which we later equip to units under their command, just like any other banner. So some of these are great. You'll notice Rune of Iron ×3. It says ×3 because you can only get each of these things once. You can only inscribe each of these runes once. But the cheaper ones, you know, the sort of the slightly worse ones, you get them in packs of 3. So you can get a maximum of 3 of these per campaign, but one inscription will get you all 3. If we go right down to the bottom, you'll see there are a bunch that are only ×1 because these are master runes and much more powerful. For instance, the Master Rune of Flight gives you a magic missile. You get plus 25 melee attack with this one. The Master Rune of Spite is kind of like the Mortis Engine effect, where it damages units nearby so long as you're in combat. So you get into combat and everything nearby starts suffering a bunch of damage over time, which is really powerful. It is really cool to see. And banners have equally powerful things, which we'll get to. Also, with Thorek, all of these are half price, which is amazing. We will get so many of these. But how does this work then? The character runes, because we've got all the other equipment, but where do you put the runes then? Well, let's have a quick look. If we look at Thorek here, and we go over to details, you'll notice that he has these 3 slots now. All dwarf characters now have these 3 rune slots where you can equip 3 runes to them, which is really powerful. It is really good stuff. Also, as Thorek, you start with a couple of runes for your unit. So you start with the Rune of Burning that can be attached to an artillery unit. This adds explosive damage that reduces enemy leadership, and he has the Rune of Stoicism, which is a +8 anti-large bonus and expert charge defense to a unit, which is very cool. He also has his assistant, so Craggy, assistant at the forge. When Thorek's long-suffering assistant pays sufficient attention to his master's gruff commands, few can match the Master Runelord's prowess on the Anvil of Doom. And the effect for this guy is miscast base chance -15%. Which doesn't make a lot of sense, because as we all know, dwarfs don't have magic. So with that, let's get into a fight, shall we? So we're going to fight Nostradamus, and you'll notice straight away, auto-resolve down here, Pyrrhic Victory, casualties, medium. We didn't used to have this. So you'll notice in a recent blog post about Warhammer 3, which I did talk about on my channel if you want to go back and find that, one of the big things for it was they were going to add additional information to auto-resolve, so you have a better indication of how auto-resolve is going to go. But what's really great is if you look on the left, if I auto-resolve, I'm going to lose a dwarf unit. One of the dwarf warriors is flashing red to signify that if I hit auto-resolve, that unit is going to die. So now you can actually see if it is worth the risk, without having to do all this nonsense of quick saving and auto-saving. And if you're playing in Legendary and you can't quick save, then it just means that you will finally get a chance of just going, you know what, we'll just skip it. So you can now have some indication of your losses, which is amazing. It is a real big deal. It is such a useful thing to have. But we will be fighting this because it's the first battle. Even though we'll only use 1 dwarf warrior, I'd rather not lose any dwarf warriors. So we have equipped anti-large and the long beards with great weapons. I like the combination of anti-large and armor piercing generally speaking. And the grudge throws are the only unit that I can equip this other rune to, but it means I have explosive leadership reducing shots now, which is lovely. So let's get into the battle. Alright, so here we are in our first battle. I can see rat ogres over here, so we're going to want to make sure we have our longbeards nearby. I want to make sure my quarrelers are in the back. Let's get some iron breakers over here to help deal with those plague monks, because plague monks don't have a lot of armor piercing, so good luck getting over that 135 armor. Good luck there. Other dwarf warriors, I'll just stick in the front, and I guess I'll just spread out Thorek and Gottfried Grimson, our runesmith. So, now that we've got all them set up, let's have a quick look at Thorek here. So, not only does he look cool, but you can see the runes are actually down here, where spells go, which is very, very cool to see. So they do actually work more like spells now. The whole rune magic system is now a law of magic. So let's hit start battle so we can look at it properly. You'll see these have been enabled, and although this is a total waste of time, because this extra 30 armor doesn't benefit anyone, you'll see now that that is active. Instead of Winds of Magic, we have this global cooldown. So for the next minute, we can't cast any other runes. But here you can see the sort of the way magic is communicated now is actually far better. So hang on, I do need to make sure that these Poison Wind Globadiers are going to take the brunt of things. So I need to keep an eye on that. But you'll notice, so that instead of Winds of Magic, they have this global cooldown. So while this cooldown is going, I can't use any other runes. Also, things have changed a bit, so you can see this green bar now shows that this rune is active. And now I think, yep, we are indeed in range with them. I'm also going to put you on guard mode and have you guys attack the Poison Globadiers. They're genuinely the most dangerous thing here. I'm also going to charge these Rat Ogres. And so, that global cooldown, it'll affect all our runes, but then there's also a separate cooldown for each individual rune. So when the global cooldown cools down, chances are we won't be able to use the same rune we just used again, but we can use something else, so it encourages us to alternate. And speaking of alternating, we're going to use the Rune of Speed, which will give plus 24 melee attack, which will help our Longbeards get through these Rat Ogres a little bit quicker. We're also going to have our Ironbreakers start throwing charges at these Plague Monks, should help kill them in a hurry. Also, we can see that the Poison Globadiers have been dealt with, which is absolutely lovely to see. Alright, let's start charging them, let's start charging them. You guys should probably turn about. But yeah, absolutely lovely system. It's a really elegant system, I feel. Because it's more in keeping with everything else, you know? All the other magic systems in this game. It's similar to them now. It's similar to them. But what I do like is it's still more dwarfy. It doesn't rely on the winds of magic, which, in a way, it kind of should. It depends how much magic is sort of in the atmosphere for you to be able to sort of conjure that and hammer it into the different runes that you create on your anvil. But still, it's a nice, elegant solution because there's no limit to the amount of runes you can use now. So the longer you stay alive, the more runes you can do, which is actually incredibly sort of in keeping with the dwarf's playstyle of trying to be sort of survivable, to withstand attacks from a billion different places, trying to stay alive. And it's that ability to stay alive that gives them value. And it just works wonderfully. I think it's an absolutely wonderful system. And yep, it's probably one of my favourite things in this update. It really makes the world a difference. Also, I really wish you guys would die now. Can you die? Can you stop throwing those? Oh, throwing more. Stop it. Even getting tickled by these missiles are really bad because it's a damage over time effect that it triggers, which is, well, it's brutal. Anyway, let's give you some more armour, because I think that having 165 armour is, it cheers me up. Oh, probably shoot these Rat Ogres. And let's get our Longbeard start running back. So it looks like those Rat Ogres have almost had it. I can't imagine this Grey Seer will stick around for too much longer before army losses triggers. And, yep, looks like things are going our way here. Although they're still coming back. It's very surprising. Alright, come on, Thorek. Here, babe. Okay, let's throw blasting charge at them. Should help kill them in a hurry. Come on, boys. God, you guys are taking ages. Alright, let's give some extra melee attack buffs. Ah, there's the army losses. We just had to kill some Skaven slaves with blasting charges, apparently. Wonderful stuff. So, there we go. There we have it. First decisive victory for Thorek Ironbrow. So, there we have it. So, this is different again. The rework has extended to your post-battle options too. Whereas before, when we fought Skaven, we'd have the option to do things like ransom them, which just made no sense. Now it's a bit more dwarfy. We can either execute and loot, right? There will be no dead weight, for many grudges remain. Strip the bodies of valuables and move on. Plus 10 oath gold. Nice. And 500 quid. Lovely. But also, we have Drink to Victory. This triumph deserves a celebration. Bring out the Bogmans. Bogmans being a famous brand of ale to the dwarfs. And also what I like is the effect is called Gorog. And Gorog is dwarfen for sort of binge drinking, essentially. So I like that. So, bolstered by the finest ale, the throng bustles with inspiring tales and joyful songs in the wake of victory. So, income from all buildings in the local province up by 10%, growth up by 20%, and public order by 5%. So, this is really nice. So, this feels like one you do when you're on the offensive, and one you do when you're defending territory, which I really like. We will be doing Drink to Victory, because we will be loitering here a bit. And I want that extra growth for when we take the Mine of Bearded Skulls. Very soon, in fact. So, Thorek Ironbrow, I'm going to focus on Root Marcher and then the red line for him. I'm not actually going to do his spells. That's right, I'm calling them spells. Isn't that fun? I think it's fun. So, Gottfried Grimson. We're going to focus on spells with him. Normally, you'd want to do all the rune upgrades for Runelords and Runesmiths with equal importance, but now Runesmiths can actually use the Master Runes, because just like magic, you can overcast. So if you overcast the Rune of Oath and Steel, you get the Master Rune of Oath and Steel. Before it used to be the Rune Lords just had the Master version of everything and the Runesmiths had the normal version of everything. Now it's an overcasting thing, which makes a lot more sense. So by doing that, you get a better, a better effect, but the cooldown is higher. So it's essentially more expensive, because with that higher global cooldown, right, from 60 seconds to 90 seconds, it means you have a longer amount of time before you can cast any other runes as well. So similar to how Winds of Magic, the more expensive thing you do, the less magic you have for the other stuff, cooldown actually kind of emulates that same thing, which I think is fantastic. So we're going to do the Rune of Speed for him, and we're going to move up to the Mine of Bearded Skulls. Off we go. Alright, whenever you're ready. So, Mutant Stab here we're going to dispatch. Sadly, it thinks that my Iron Breakers are going to die, which is obviously absolute nonsense. So, we are going to fight it. Alright then. So, one thing I need to get in the habit of doing is putting everyone on guard mode, because the dwarfs really do benefit from things being on guard mode, I must say. I must say that is a big help. I'm actually going to probably climb the walls with these guys too. Yeah, you can all be grouped. You guys can be grouped. And because the area that we're in doesn't have any Skaven corruption, I don't have to worry about Menace Below being used to spawn clan rats by my grudge throwers. But that is something that we're going to have to be careful of later, and I will almost certainly forget to leave people in reserve to defend them. But right now, there isn't enough Skaven corruption for them to use Menace Below, so we don't have to worry about it. So, I am going to leave my grudge throwers here for now, and what we will do, one thing I quite find kind of weird is walls don't actually block line of sight. You can see what's behind the walls, you can just see straight through them, but the hills do block line of sight. So once we crest this hill, we'll be able to see what's behind the walls, and I can start targeting them with my grudge thrower. There's usually someone sat at an angle here that is usually prime real estate for exploding. So, yeah, here we go, and it's their lord. Perfect. So we are in guard mode, so if this guy runs off and he's not in range, then our grudge throwers will attack whatever they can. So this is nice. Okay, we missed a bit there. Whoops. Come on, hit them now. Beautiful. Beautiful hits. I like it when units run over each other like this when I'm trying to blow them up. So 50 kills already for the grudge thrower. A bunch of damage to their lord. That's going to affect their leadership. Lovely. And our quarrelers are getting some decent damage into the front line here. I say front line, it's night runners, but, they're acting as a front line, so I'm going to call them as such. So, everyone having fun? Guys, climbing up? Doing good? So, what I think I might do is actually... Oh, hang on. Was that in range? Yes, it was. Good. So I'm going to hit them with the extra armor, because these night runners don't have a lot of armor-piercing damage, so it will help these guys shrug off damage from the missiles, which is rather useful. Though we are having some... There we go, they're doing it now. We were having some problems with our units not bothering to actually climb the walls there. They weren't putting their ladders up, which often happens. Okay, you run into there. We don't have enough people up here for me to feel comfortable using the Rune of Speed yet. I want to take advantage of that when we have a few people up there. I think Thorek is actually going to just run straight down, because I don't really mind if he gets sort of surrounded by a billion units, because he is so heavily armoured with 130 armour that he's going to be incredibly survivable, and it just means we'll have a decent sort of anchor point to shoot with various missiles. So I'm quite keen for them to try and surround me, honestly. Okay, let's charge in. You guys need to move forwards a little bit more so you can get in here. Okay. Blasting charges being fired as well. That sounds good to me. Oh, come on, guys. Stick around. Ugh. Now you're not shooting, and you've gone at a weird angle. What are you doing? What are you doing? It's very strange. Oh, well. Well, Thorek's in there anyway. Okay, come on, boys. Take out this clan rats, will you? And you can climb down. Got more dwarf warriors that can climb down too. I don't like how the towers here are shooting my grudge throwers. Don't like that one bit. It says they're shooting. No, it says they're being shot at. Alright, come on, guys. Come on now. You're going to be moving, are you? You just can't really make your mind up at the moment, can you? You don't really know how to Oh, well, we lost one. Just run over here so you're not getting shot. Grudge throws can be a bit funny sometimes. Not funny ha-ha, funny... you're so irksome. Okay, let's add some armor to these guys over here. And we are getting some damage in with the Iron Breakers here. With the blasting charges, but not many. Let's just get you down, shall we? You're not doing a great job. You're not doing a great job there. Okay, you start shooting them. And... okay, this is better. Let's up their melee attack. So we have Iron Breakers with 58 melee attack, which is pretty significant melee attack. To have two characters with that level of buff right from the get-go is really rather nice. I'm a big fan of it. Also, Skaven slaves there aren't going to put up much of a fuss. What are you? More Skaven slaves, some Night Runners, and Clan Rats? Yeah, Clan Rat Spears. Alright, we'll get to him. We'll get to him. Okay. Good. They're about to break. Okay, let's get you guys on to the next Clan Rats. So one other reason I do like the melee attack buffs, such as they are, is they do speed up combat a little bit for the dwarfs. Dwarfs you can often just sort of loiter a bit. And as much as it's nice to take in the scenery, sometimes you just want to get on with it, especially when it's a sort of guaranteed victory, you know? So it is nice to have those additional buffs to get that extra speed in there. I rather enjoy it. Okay, in you get Thorek. Some beautiful blasting charges being thrown there. 135 kills so far for the Iron Breakers. Very good. Very good indeed. Alright, see if we can get another bunch in there. One more volley, guys. One more volley. And here they come. 173 kills. And I imagine that'll be triggering army losses pretty soon. Not just yet, but soon. I'd have thought. I'd kind of thought now, honestly. But no, they're still hanging on. These rats are being incredibly stubborn. Okay, well that's that then. Oh, come on, guys. Be game. Run away. They're not running away. They're not running away. This is why the extra melee attack is rather handy. Oh, there we go. There we go. That's army losses. It's actually the grudge throwers managed to get in that last hit that scared him off. Good lad. Decisive victory. Excellent. Only 76 units lost. They thought we were going to lose our Iron Breakers, so auto-resolve, yes, it tells you what it's going to do, but it's still a bit silly. But at least it tells you when it's going to be silly, rather than just leaving you to hit auto-resolve, thinking, there's no way I'm going to lose anything valuable, and then losing your best units. So you don't have to worry about that happening anymore, which is incredible. Huge, huge fan of that. So, Skaven revealed, of course, I know, they're dead, don't worry about it. And we did capture that settlement. So we did get some tongs. One thing I didn't show, actually, is if you hover over here, you can see Dwarfen Neck Yoke. It tells you that's part of Ratton's Collar of Bestial Control. So it does tell you on the campaign map what these things are, which is really nice to see. And, of course, when you go to the Forge, if you can go, oh, okay, there was something there as part of Ratton's Collar of Bestial Control. That was the yoke, but where is the other one? You know, so you can plan out your route. And the other one is over here. So if we take this place, maybe we want to head up here next, you know? It lets you plan a bit, which I've got to say is rather nice. So we have an archivist to put up a research rate, which I'm a big fan of. That's nice to get early. So the keepers of the archive know the location of any account, history or lore held within the Dwarf Hold's dusty archives. I know, that was Ringo Starr reading that bit. Told you guys, all the accents. You're getting all of them. And we got the right half of the tongs. The left half is up here. But you can see, there's some other dwarf friends here. Hugrim Redax of the Spider Sotek dwarves, isn't it? Yes, it is. They're over here. So we're going to have to win them over. So, an oath to Smednir. As a key resource for the crafting process, an abundance of oath gold is invaluable to your success in the region. Make sure to gather as much of it as you can find. The surest way to recapture the storied greatness of our kingdoms is to demonstrate our strength to enemies and allies alike, establish a solid grip on the surrounding lands, and maintain control for all to see. So this, take 2 provinces, we'll get to that for sure, no worries. It'll be pretty straightforward. No worries at all. So Inspiring Presence, I do want to get Axe Lord so we can get our basic units. Fighting Fit, and Gottfried Grimson, Rune of Wrath and Ruin. So what is nice is Rune of Wrath and Ruin used to be a damaging effect. It would just be damage over time. You click on people, they just take a bit of damage, which, you know, was pretty good. Then they turned it into a slowing effect, but now we have the Rune of Slowness for that, so it can go back to doing damage. Except what's great is it's actually an explosion. It isn't just a damage over time thing. They've created a spell effect for it, which is very cool, and I can't wait to show you guys. Because it's really nice. It's really nice they've actually sort of added value there. You know, they didn't have to. Could have just been damage over time. They're like, nah, let's make it an explosion. Let's make it dramatic. Let's add a spell effect. You know, let's make this Lord of Magic really fleshed out as a Lord of Magic. And they did that, and I've got to say, just mad props for doing so. It is really nice. So, I think that's it for the turn. No, it isn't. We need to recruit some things. Sadly, no Dwarf Slayers yet, but maybe one day. What I think I'll get while we're here is some Dwarf Warriors. Even though I would quite like some Mines of Blasting Chance and Miners, but we will be able to get them as we march. So, research available. It's the same research tree, they haven't changed anything there. There might be something new in here that I've not noticed, but as far as I can tell, it's the same as it's always been. One thing I will do here, though, is we're not going to bother with anything for 32 turns. I'm just going to go straight to these steam drills, because that's extra gold mine money, and we will be having a couple of gold mines pretty early in the campaign, so just getting through that stuff is great, but it also means we'll get income from settlement buildings, we'll get income from tool makers, bonus growth, which is very important, extra income from iron mines, gold mines, and stone quarries, as well as income from iron mines, gold mines, and stone quarries, and finally, income from iron mines, gold mines, and stone quarries. So plenty of bonus income to all those things. So we'll have a gold mine in Thrice Cursed Peak, but I also want to head to Chuppyotel, because that is one of our objectives, and it's a flipping gold mine, so I can't pass that up. It's going to pay for our war machine. So, commandment available as well. Okay, one last thing before the end of the turn. We're going to go for growth and trade resources. And now let's move on. Alright, so this is absolutely perfect. You'll notice that the Spider Sotek Dwarves have taken a cheeky ball here, which is really nice of them, because we're going to want these tongs, but we don't need to declare war on them because we have a new mission. So, for too long have the Dawi clans nearby been cut off from the rest of our people. Reach out and ensure they are brought into the fold. So this is great. Win 2 battles against Skaven, and then we get the opportunity to confederate these guys. So that's pretty fantastic. I can't wait for that. As well as getting rid of cash and Oath Gold, which is cool. Also, Thorek's Rune Armor, so his first quest item, basically. So these strange new lands teem with unfamiliar foes, yet Thorek remains undaunted. Rushing to judgment in a fit of panic is the purview of the inexperienced fool. Instead, the Runelord will assess the threat firsthand. When the dangers of the world prove themselves deadly enough to warrant Thorek's intervention, only then will he finally don his mighty rune armor of war, and be ready to stand against them. So Thorek's rune armor is actually really good. So he's got a bunch of armor already, but he's going to get an extra 15 armor, as well as 15% fire and magic resistance, as well as a passive ability, which for 40 meters gives all of his allies an extra 15 armor and 10% flame resistance, which is really, really good. Great little armor piece. Next up, research 3 technologies, which actually means research 1 technology, because we already have 2, because we always start with 2, so that's pretty great. Though you may detest it, researching new technology is of great importance to securing our holds. While the legacy of tradition must be upheld, we cannot ignore the beckoning of progress, and the untold successes it might bring. And finally, destroy clan mange. We were going to do that anyway, so this is perfect. The revolting infestation of ratmen plaguing the land must be exterminated once and for all. Their disgusting stench is enough to make even the hardiest Dawi stomachs heave. Done. So plenty of missions and so much overlap between all of them. It's pretty great. So, let's hop straight over. We do still have Gorog active for 3 more turns, so we are going to miss out on a bit of growth for this area, but that's okay. That's okay. We'll get growth for the next place we take over. so don't worry about it. Sadly, this base isn't particularly happy either, and as it gets less happy, we'll have less growth, which will also be an issue, so that's something we're going to have to overcome. So, let's crack on. Alright, another mission to reforge any artifact in the artifact vault, which we will be doing pretty shortly. So, the relic fragments you've uncovered must be reforged into an artifact worthy of our ancestors. Beware of watchful eyes, however. Such power is bound to draw the unwanted attention of your enemies. So this is interesting because this isn't just him being like, oh, you know, Total War, be crazy. It's actually telling us we will have enemies spawn as we start rebuilding, you know, reforging these artifacts. We will end up with sort of, you know, story enemies turning up to try and thwart Thorek, which is very, very cool. Nice little foreshadowing there. So, obtain access to the following resources through ownership or trade. Well, gemstones are in Cheeky Bowl, so we'll be getting hold of that once we confederate. So, pretty great. A lot of missions overlapping here. Your runesmiths are in need of gemstones for their craft. It is vital you gain access to this resource, using any and all means necessary. I'll sound a bit like an orc by the end. By that I mean a cockney. But, you know, whatever. All the accents, guys. All the accents. So, treasury plus 500 and 20 of gold.
Ironbrow.
Ironbrow indeed. Let's go nuts some Thagaraki, shall we? So, are we going to lose anybody? We're not. We could auto-resolve this. I kind of want to, just knowing that we can actually do it in safety. It's just such a beautiful thing to have the sort of the foreknowledge for. It's wonderful. Look at that. Isn't that great? There's no guesswork anymore. It's amazing. I love it. I love being informed. Like strategy games, you can only make a strategy if you're informed. Otherwise, it's not really a choice. It's just kind of like, oh, I suppose I better fight it then, just in case. Like, no, you should fight the battles that you want to fight. Not the battles that you feel you have to because who knows what might happen. You know? So, let's occupy this. It will do for starters. It's definitely only the start. So we've got some extra growth here as well, which is nice. And we will be putting up growth higher as well, because we do have Godog still active, which is nice. And we've succeeded in a mission, destroying Clan Mange.
Will soon be reforged at last.
Good stuff. So every time we do take one of the artifacts, he will comment on it, which I really like. It's nice to have that extra flavour in there. It's obviously annoying in a Let's Play when you keep forgetting that that's a thing, but when you're playing on your own, it's just lovely to hear him, you know, sort of talking and commenting on what you're doing. It's a nice touch. I like it. I like it a lot. Also, just the general sort of role-playing aspect of this, going on like a quest. It feels like you're going on a quest, which is good. I like the role-playing stuff in the DLCs and everything. It's beautiful. I love it. It's good world building, and that I think is important in a world that's had 30 years of development to really showcase that, you know. So anyway, yep. So we did that mission as well. No new missions, I don't think. Oh yes, we did. A necessary resource. Nope, we read that already before we did this, so we're fine. Let's get Axelord. We're going to need our front line fighting a little bit better, and for Gottri Grimson, because there's no big rush to get to the later ones. There's no rushing for Arcane Conduit. Strike the Runes is pretty good for the shared cooldown being lower. I like that. But I think I'm going to go with Scouting. I want more magic items. I really do. I want more magic items. Also, one thing I'm going to do is we can go to the Forge, and we're going to create a rune. I could create a couple of the cheaper ones. Sorry, only one of the cheaper ones. So I may as well get an expensive one. Screw it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the Master Rune of Spite. Because it's that damage over time rune, which is just amazing. It is so good. What's up? Nothing, mate. Just, you know, pop it in. So the Master Rune of Spite, first embedded in the gates of KARAK, the damaging aura permeating this rune is enough to turn most enemies away. So a wonderful thing to have. But what is also beautiful is we can only make one of these, but we won't need to keep it on Thorek Ironbrow, because if we look at his skills now, which we haven't yet, but got to, right? Got to look at him. I just wanted to space it out a bit. So we have Fiery Temper, which is minus 20% for the Master Rune of Wrath and Ruin. Really good, minus 20% cooldown. Love that. Also, he'll cause fear, which is nice. Exacting Standards. Hero success chance goes up for runesmiths, which is fine. I don't tend to use the hero actions much, but you never know. It's nice to have. But we also get the Master Rune of Stromny Redbeard, which actually gives extra melee attack and leadership for nearby units, as well as putting down the shared cooldown for the whole of the Lord's army for all rune magic, which is really nice. Then we have Ornery Overseer. Not like that, you wazzock. Gives extra oath gold from buildings in the local province. So that's how bonuses to oath gold work now. For any of your heroes, if you give them the sort of the oath gold generating skill, it's only for the local province, so it actually bolsters local production rather than just having them find a resource while they're out and about, which I think makes more thematic sense. But it can give you pretty huge bonuses to oath gold generation if you are defending an area that has decent oath gold production. So I like that. It's a nice thing, I think. Also, construction cost minus 15% for all buildings, and construction time minus 20% for all buildings. So he's a very good overseer for construction. Runic talismans. So this is the one that will be taking the place of that rune, basically. So this one, we get the passive ability, the Master Rune of Spite, which is the damage over time. So once we got this, we won't need to have that rune equipped. This doesn't take a slot, a rune slot. He'll just have that ability. We don't need to equip that rune, which is brilliant. But also with this ability, he gets the Master Rune of Grungni, which adds a aura of missile resistance of 20% for 40 meters, which is really nice. It also gives him a 5% ward save, which is not to be sniffed at. Then we have Proven Tools, which is huge augments for his army. So plus 50% armor-piercing missile damage for Quarrelers makes Quarrelers a little bit more in line with Thunderers, being, the armor-piercing missile units. It makes them sort of step into that field a little bit more, which is nice. But they still got that nice firing arc, which I prefer that in a siege battle, honestly. Also the Rune of Burning, which is the one we had already, which is the leadership and the explosive damage. That's for bolt throwers, though, but all of them in the Lord's army, so we don't have to actually equip that rune. They'll just all have that. And we also have Flaxen's Rune of Seeking, which is for all grudge throwers. It gives them homing missiles, which is amazing. And again, don't have to equip it. Then we got the runic production lines, finally, which give Frenzy to the entire army. Frenzy being, as long as your leadership is above 50%, you get 10 extra melee attack, 10% armor piercing, charge bonus, and base weapon damage, and their immune psychology. So as long as leadership is above 50%, you get all that. But dwarfs have leadership coming out their ass. So they're basically just going to get plus 10 melee attack all the time. So Thorek Ironbrow is probably the most offensive of all of the dwarfs, I think. He's got the most sort of melee attack buffs across the board. It is really good. Also, he's got Thorek's rune armor, which we've looked at, and Clad Brakak, which is his axe, or is it a hammer? It's something. So it's a hammer, of course, because Thorek is like Thor. That's how you know. So anyway, the runic energy within Thorek's mighty hammer builds and crackles, erupting in earth-shattering thunderbolt. So what's really fun is actually if you look at him attacking, it does send lightning through the ground when he slams his hammer down. It's really cool. His attack effects are really interesting. So this gives him a bombardment ability, and it gives frenzy to himself, and sundering attacks too. So really cool. Really cool indeed. So the Anvil of Doom is an Anvil of Doom. It's a good mount option. Also, Veteran Anvil Guard will give him plus 8 melee defense and attack. The Rune Master puts down miscast chance and shared cooldown for all Master Rune magic. And we've also got the Greater Locus of Power. So the Locus of Power and the Greater Locus of Power actually have the same description. It's just the Greater Locus of Power hits harder, it would seem. But this is a brilliant change. And this is something that needs to be the effect for most of the items that sort of add added miscast chance for enemies, It should just be this. So enemy casters within range suffer minor miscast explosion when casting. They just take damage from a miscast if they happen to cast within 100 meters of him. That's just so much better than these rubbish items that just add a miscast chance. Because the thing is, you can't miscast unless you're overcasting usually. But this just means if you're casting spells, you're going to take damage. You're going to get punished for being a spellcaster nearby, which has a huge impact on hybrid casters. Because if you're like a melee lord that also has some magic, Thorek is going to be your downfall. So things like Malekith, for instance, it's going to really suck for him. It's going to really suck for him. So it's really cool. Also, Runic Grimnir, nothing too fancy. And yeah, stand your ground. is where his red thing goes. It's pretty straightforward. But we've gone over all his unique stuff. So I hope you enjoyed that. I always get pestered to show that stuff in early episodes, and I rarely do, because I find it takes ages, as you've just witnessed. But anyway, there's some fun stuff there. Speaking of fun stuff, we are going to get some miners. So you might think, oh, miners aren't that great, it's a shame to have to get them. But actually, they're going to be very good, because once we get these tongs, they are going to get some good buffs. So, let's move on. So, we've researched 3 technologies. By that, it means 1 technology. So, I got a bit of extra cash out of that. So, Kazid subsidies. To grow the everlasting realm, the guild sends subsidies to make settlements old and new grow sustainable. So, that's extra income from settlement buildings, which is always nice. And now let's check our buildings. We can indeed upgrade our gold mine. And here, as much as I'd love to do things like get this iron mine going, or plenty of other things. Getting some more artillery would be great. There's plenty of stuff here. Or walls, so it'll be nice and defended. I want it happy. I want it happy so we can put growth up. And I want to build a granary so we can put growth up. But we need this place to be happy, because right now we are getting -10 growth. And that's only getting worse as our public order keeps slipping. So we do want to get that under control as quickly as possible, because every turn we wait is growth that we're missing out on. And we really want to get this to a nice high tier early so we can access as many buildings as we can. So, I'm actually just going to move to the edge here. We will be attacking Oshel next turn. Looks like Lord Skrolk is nearby. We will be declaring war on them pretty soon. And while I'm here, I guess I'll get more miners just because I can. I know, it's not fancy, but like I said, they will have some interesting augments to them fairly soon. So, let's crack on. So it looks like Lord Skrolk is still loitering here, which is regrettable. Honestly, that is regrettable for us. Because he's going to put up quite a fight. I wonder what's best for us here. I don't know what sort of garrison Oshel's going to have. I doubt it'll be great. Let's see, I have a choice here. Do I want to fight a walled settlement or fight in the open field? I think I'm going to fight in the open. I know. I'm being very bold. So, yep, declaring war on Clan Pestilence, and we're charging in. Come here, you. So, high casualties, but it does predict a victory. We're going to lose nothing but miners. I'm almost tempted to do it. But, oh my god, there's another army in here too. Oof. Ouch. So we have 2 armies we're facing off against here. A lot of Plague Monks. Plague Monks will absolutely make mincemeat of our miners. For sure. So our Quarrelers are going to focus on them. They have 2 units of Plague Monk Sensor Bearers that are going to make even shorter work. But we also really need to get rid of that Plague Claw catapult. And the only thing we can really do is use our own catapult. And that's not necessarily the best use of our catapult. So that's a little scary. But hopefully we can take out Skrolk's army nice and quickly if we play aggressively. And then the reinforcements will take some time to get to us. Because I don't think these guys trickling in later is going to be much of a problem. So, let's fight it. Wish me luck, guys. Okay, so this is what the map looks like, huh? Okay, so what I'm going to do... Ironbreakers are going to hide up here a bit. I want to cover the trees so they don't get destroyed by Plague Claw catapults. Because that would be just horrible value they'd be netting. I mean, great value, but like horrible for us. It'd just be shocking. Oh, they're way up there, though. So you know what? The reinforcements are going to be there immediately. What's the range on a Plague Claw catapult? It's 400, and it's 440 on the grudge throwers. So actually, I could get to them, but height does actually give a slight bonus to range, believe it or not. Okay, let's just line up everyone up here somewhere. Let's get our Quarrelers over here. We got all of our miners. So that trickling in of forces. Yeah, it's not really going to help us much, is it? No, it is not. So I guess you guys just chill wherever. Alright, that'll do. So let's try and take this out. They'll have to come to us. Okay, they'll have to come to us. They've got the highest range. And they'll have to really move back a lot to hit our more expensive units. So they'll probably, until we get rid of the Plague Claw catapult, the Plague Claw catapult is probably going to be wasting its time firing at random units. Saying that, I should probably send out some random units, shouldn't I? Got to make sure that we've got something they'll be aiming at instead of the grudge throwers, if they so wish. Are you trying to retreat? Is that what you're doing? Oh my god, look at him, he's so embedded in the trees. Which means they won't really be able to hit us, so I guess we'll just charge in then. Cool. I like that. Big fan of that. Alright, in you get, lads. And, yeah, you also run up. Beautiful. So this is going to sting a bit, obviously. I don't like these trees being here, and I totally forgot about you sods. Alright, come here, you. So yeah, I don't like being in front of these trees. So where are those sensor bearers? Should be somewhere in here, right? I'm not seeing them. There's some plague monks. Yeah, I'm not seeing the sensor bearers. Let's attack those plague monks, I suppose. Because yeah, are they going to be able to attack? I really don't know. I really don't know if those plague claw catapults are in a good position or a terrible position. I don't know if my grudge throwers are in a good position or a terrible position. Seemingly a good position. Haha, they hit a tree. Oh, and direct shot into the grudge thrower, but that was fine, apparently. Oh, there's the sensor bearers. There they go. Cool. Alright, well, let's attack him. And dwarf warriors. We have to leave here. Ugh, I don't like they are getting some shots over here. But they seem to be attacking the wrong units, so I guess that'll do. Okay. Let's just spread you boys out. Alright. Good. God, there's a lot coming in, huh? Yes, there is. And how are you doing? 30 kills? I feel like you should have got more kills. Like, just the amount of stuff here that you could be hitting. Alright, let's attack them. Everybody, guard mode. And I need you to be attacking the correct units. So, you attack those plague monks. You attack... I mean, honestly, like, anything. There's no plague monks here for you to attack. They're all over here, it would seem. Hate that. Hate that a lot. Hate it an awful lot. Alright, you head over that way. You head over this way. So, one thing I do like is that I now can blow these guys up. It will do. And... that's right, it's a volcano. I'm a big fan. Let's also give some extra attack buffs for you lot. Good. So this is a problem. Clearly. But maybe you can attack that way, actually. That could be good. Okay, let's get some shots into this lot. Because I want these plague monks dead. Well, that's not bad. Not enjoying that, though. Not enjoying that much at all. Hey, let's leave them in combat. Screw it. I don't know if they're really hitting anything here. Okay, they're taking huge damage. This... oh, sensor bearers over there. Alright, you know what? You guys attack this side. Attack those... yeah, those plague monks. That's going well. Okay, I am loving the damage that our grudge throws are doing to these bunch now. Getting a lot of kills all of a sudden. But my word, this is a bit much. Not gonna lie. It's a bit much. Skrulk is getting wrecked though. And, okay, I can't reach them, but I can reach my units here. And it does look like these guys are just being left to their own devices, which is tremendous. Let's try and hit these guys. If I can get some good damage into this lot, I'll be happy. But we're suffering damage. We're suffering a lot of damage here, that's for sure.
Thorek Ironbrow.
Okay. You know what, Thorek, you head this way. Let's give some extra armor to these guys too. Keep them going a little longer. And, oh, you are getting some shots in. 200 kills with the grudge throws. Well played, boys, well played. And Ironbreakers are holding. 200 kills for them. Holy cow. It's alright, isn't it? Okay, don't like the damage that we're taking over here. Don't like all the slinger damage. That's surprisingly high. Yeah, Dwarf Warriors on the run. Doing alright over here, though. I feel like their most powerful units haven't made it into the front line. It's basically just slaves that we're fighting. But, ugh, okay, you need to spread out. That was big damage. And you can't shoot currently. How about them? Nope, you're walking forwards. Can you shoot them? Hard to say. Might need to turn them about again. I'm really not enjoying the damage they're taking. Are you attacking? You are. Good. Good, good, good. Okay, fan of that. Fan of that. So, can you kill them now, please? Like, go on, just give them a smack. Okay, let's buff them as well. So things are looking a little iffy over here, but I mean we're still there. We're still making it happen. You know, balance of power is pretty even. So let's actually attack over here. Now, I think we can do some mad damage to that group. This is bad though. We might have to send the Quarrelers in there. Or Dwarf Warriors actually. Get the Dwarf Warriors in here to pin them down. Oh, hey, come here. No one said you could run. Okay, we can explode someone. So let's do that. Okay, good. How are you lot doing? 250 kills, looks like they're all running. Alright, we might be winning this. It's quite hard to say, but Skrulk's getting wrecked, so that's good news. Plague Claw Catapult is really hurt. Huh. I don't know when we did that damage to the Plague Claw Catapult crew. Okay, so they're breaking, and oh no, they're in the Grudge Throwers. Alright, let's go get them. Okay, so what is lovely is Thorek Ironbrow. You'll notice this little effect. Okay, well you're not noticing it now. There was this little effect going on. There we go, there it is again. So you'll notice that's that damage over time effect. So Thorek is actually damaging everything he's touching. So just Thorek, I think, can probably finish off the enemy. If I'm honest. I think he's got this. I think he's got this on his own. And Ironbreaker's doing a fine job. Start shooting those Night Runners, they're quite high value. Although all this stuff is quite high value too. A little concerned about all this. So let's try and get in here. So how are you lot doing? There's still 40 of you. Okay, looks like we're going to win. Good lad. Let's get some attack buffs for you lot, so you can hit Chant here. Because ideally, I'd like most of this stuff to be dead before we have to fight another battle at Oshel. Although 434 kills for the Grudge Throwers is quite a good one. You did good. Well played, boys, well played. That was a nice little fight. Pyrrhic victory. I mean, it was Pyrrhic. I'll give him that. But, worthwhile. We basically wiped out a faction. Terrific. So, killed Skrulk. Wonderful. That's going to give us, I think, defense against swamp attrition, I think it is? I can't entirely remember. We'll find out soon, though. So I'm going to execute and loot. I think. Nor will I. I will actually just take... I think I will be about to take Oshel, so maybe I will drink to victory. I mean, as if I can take it this turn. I'm not completely sold on that just yet. Although Thorek is in good stead, so I think Thorek running in, I think he could deal with it, just because there's not much stuff that can threaten him anymore. So I think him running in on his own, he could take out most of this stuff. So yeah, let's drink to victory, because we'll almost certainly take Oshel. So, alright, that guy's still going, which is a shame. Oh, we get to Confederate. Hell yeah. Alright, wonderful. So, following your offensives against the Ratmen. We avenged a grudge, apparently. Thanks, Thorek. I'm in the middle of something, though, mate. But, fine. So anyway, following your offensives against the Ratmen, the local Dowie clan has approached you, jubilant and grateful for driving the Skaven menace back. It seems the war beneath the world rages even here. The Spinosotek dwarfs have been pestered by the Raki for generations. They offer a consolidation of forces and resources, which may very well expedite your assignment. As is typical of the staunch traditionalist, your acceptance may be based on various conditions. I know, Thorek. Calm down. So, what we can do is we can upset everyone, but get to bunch of Oath Gold, which I'm very tempted to do. Because Oath Gold is great. We can just spend it all on runes and get like 1 billion runes, and I get to show you 1 billion runes, which would be really fun. But unhappy populace means that we're going to miss out on a bunch of growth, because everyone will stay unhappy, and that sucks. But I might do it anyway. I wouldn't recommend doing this, but I think I will do it for the sake of the Let's Play, even though it will limit my ability to grow a bunch of stuff. It's only for 2 turns, so it's only -10 public order total, but that's still a big hit to what we've got. Also, diplomatic relations, +20 with dwarfs, and everyone's happy. So this is just, yep, we say that we respect them. So up to code's obviously us going, nah, you're rubbish, I can't believe what you've been doing without us. This is, oh, you've been doing a great job. Guild favours is, well, carrying favours, I suppose. So Confederation, but that'll cost us Oath Gold. And then we've got Independence, where we just go, yeah, you guys go for it, which lets us go quicker and gives us some Oath Gold, but we don't get the Spine of Sotek clan, which is bad because we need them because they have our tongs, and I want my tongs. I want my tongs, Barry. Don't know who Barry is. Presumably someone. Yeah, we're going to go up to code, even though I wouldn't recommend it. But the Oath Gold is too good to pass up. So, the rickety forges and workshops of these holds fall short of our standards. There'll be no more slacking. Now, we shall squeeze more productivity out of these dowie yet. So, wonderful, we've got some extra cash, some extra Oath Gold. We've got a lot of Oath Gold now. And we've confederated with them. We defeated Lord Skrulk, which is immunity to swamp attrition. Brilliant. And -5 public order for the local enemy province, which is actually very powerful. That's very nice to have. So, his dreadful staff and the disease it spreads cannot save Skrulk from the righteous scourge. Good stuff. And we did a mission. We got, yes, we got the 2 provinces. One of them was actually this one. Also, we got Thorek's rune armor, so that'll get equipped, so it'll have additional armor, as well as additional fire resist, additional armor for nearby people, all the rest of it. And we found the left half of the tongs. And we confederated. And we have extra income from gem cutters and quarries. Seeing as how Hugrim here isn't going to be going anywhere, I'm actually going to equip that on him, I think. Where are you? There we go. We'll give you the Cooper. Because this place, cheeky bolt, we're going to give the gem mine shaft. I'm glad it does, but unfortunately you're bankrupting us, so I might get rid of some of your dwarf warriors. And your miners. And you know what? We're more traditional around here. Those thunderers can just be absorbed by the garrison. That's not actually a gameplay mechanic, that's just me role-playing, but I want to keep the grudge thrower. You know, I want to keep that. But other than that, that'll do me fine, I think. He'll just babysit this area for a bit. And do we need this? I think I will keep. You know what, I won't actually. I'm going to get rid of that. I'm going to swap it out for a growth building so we can try and get this place built up a little quicker as well. Oh, also we need the commandment. So let's do the commandment for extra growth. And now we need to fight Oshul. I'll tell you what, first, we won't get the benefit of these just yet, but we'll get the benefit of this. So, Thungni's Tongs of the Runesmith. And I did tell you miners would get augmented, right? Well, they're going to get +5 melee attack, as well as longbeards with great weapons, and they're also going to each have sundering attacks, which will lower the enemy's armour, which just our normal dwarf warriors will be able to take better advantage of, because they don't have a lot of armour piercing. So, pretty great. Also, shared cooldown, -15% for all rune magic. So let's reforge it.
To think of the runes I will craft with these.
Fantastic. So 1 is done. 4 more to go before we can do the final battle. Excellent. So, yep, that's all done, and the grudge removed.
Glory for KARAK AZUL.
Good lad. So, Thungni's tongs were utilised by some of the first runesmiths under his tutelage, saving them well in...
Honor the ancestors.
You will not stop screaming, huh? You just will not stop. Anyway, serving them well in crafting the most potent rune weapons ever made. These powerful armaments were crucial in many of the great victories of our kin. Such weapons could be forged again, but not without the tongs that gave them their power, long lost in the mists of time. Until now. Mwahaha. Ha ha, ho ho ho. Nope, that's Santa. Dwarfs are basically Santa. Don't worry about it. So this other army will actually be joining us, which is annoying. So we will be fighting everything again, because these guys didn't run away enough. But what is nice is because they are joining us, and this would be their second loss. That's right, I'm hopeful. This would be their second loss of the of this turn. They'll be wiped out. So if this is their only... In fact, I can check, actually. Let's have a look. That is their only settlement. So this could be the end of the faction. So a faction wiped out in one turn? That's pretty great. Although, I guess it's less great when you think they only have the one settlement, so one turn is enough to destroy a settlement pretty easily, but whatever. I'm gonna call it impressive. Oh yeah, one thing I was gonna do. So yes, I was gonna build that. You know, I was going to reforge that thing, but I was also going to get a bunch of other runes. So we'll get the... because we have so much rune gold, you know? So much oath gold, rather. So we'll get the 3 plus 20 runes, plus 20 armor, sorry. I'll also get the frenzy ones, because that's like plus 10 melee attack for everyone. That's great. So we'll get those built. And then I will get the... You know, the bonus versus large ones, quite good. Not bad. Dazed is good. Dazed reduces speed and melee defense of enemies, which is nice. So I like that, you know, sort of a nice support rune there. Let's get the Master Rune of Gromril, plus 50 armor for this one. I'm actually going to give it to Thorek, even though Thorek already has enough armor that most things will be doing the minimum amount of damage anyway. I just want to show you that we can get him over 200 armor, which is always hilarious. So, also melee attack plus 25 sounds great. We'll get one of those. And how much oath gold we got? Still 100. Let's get some banners now then. So I'm going to scroll down to the bottom to get some of the good stuff. The Master Rune of Immolation. The Master Rune of Stromny Redbeard. This gives extra melee attack to nearby units, which is really powerful. Love that. Big fan. We will get the... let's see, where's the Bones versus Infantry one? I like that one. Bones versus Infantry. So we get 3 of those. And we've got the... I mean, lower vigor loss reduction is quite nice. And Ancestor Rune. Entities cannot die while this ability is active. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool too. Vanguard. So we can get 3 runes that give Vanguard. So if you've got a army that's mostly Vanguard units, but you want to accent it with the odd additional thing, like say you have the Regiment Renown Ironbreakers that can Vanguard, but you want other Ironbreakers that can Vanguard too, then you can do that, which is great. It gives you some really nice flexibility in your armies there. Big fan of that. The Rune of Dismay slows down enemies nearby and causes fear, which is rather cool. So let's get that. I like the idea of causing fear. That's fun. The Master Rune of Valea is quite good. Huge magic resistance and perfect vigor. The Master Rune of Groth One Eye gives discouraged effect and causes terror against greenskins. That's quite cool. It's quite fun. Let's go for that. Because discouraged, it's just more ways to hit the enemy's leadership, you know. And now that's basically all of our money gone. Extra ward save sounds nice. And we get the Master Rune of Grungni, which is very good, that missile resist one. Oh, can't afford it. Never mind then. Never mind. We'll save the rest, but that's a good spread. So, Thorek, you've got your Master Rune of Spite. Let's also give you 50 more armor, which will put you up to 180. And notice how this isn't actually equipped yet. So this 15 armor, that's not equipped yet. It'll put us up to 195, I believe, with all that stuff. So I can give him extra armor, actually, now. But I think there's other ways we can get him extra armor. I think Thorek's rune armor he might get impacted by the aura as well, I believe. So I'll hold off for that for now. But I would like to give him an extra 10 melee attack. Or why bother when I give him an extra 25? Screw it, we'll give him the Master Rune of Snorri Spangelheim. Why? Because it's called the Master Rune of Snorri Spangelheim. It's perfect. We can't ask for a better rune. We're also going to give him the... we'll give him the Master Rune of Stromny that we can give to someone, so they can give a nice attack bonus for everyone nearby. And we'll get a bunch of Rune of Battle, so we can give a bunch of units a bonus versus infantry. Unfortunately, this will all take a turn to equip, so we won't be able to bring it along to this battle. I could wait, of course, a turn and then do the battle, but I don't want to. That's marvellous. So, let's get, let's get our miners just to smash the gates down, I think. I'll go with the iron breakers as well. And I guess you guys can go too. Let's put one of the runesmiths on the walls, and then Snorri can... Not Snorri, Thorek can run that way. Sorry, I was thinking of old Spangelheim again. You know, Spangers, his mates call him. So we do need some dwarf warriors to loiter back here, annoyingly. But you lot can climb up. And, hang on, there we go. And you. I'm not sure how I grouped them. I think I already had them grouped and got confused. Oh, you need to be on your own. Okay, good. So you lot, attack there. You lot, actually shimmy over a bit. If you would, lads. And we'll also get our quarrelers up. Good. You're not gonna climb? What's your deal? Go on. Alright, now they're doing it. Good. Good stuff. Alright, everyone get stuck in, boys. Thorek Ironbrow. Oh, what a lad. So, these guys are shooting... Dude. I mean, we got 3 kills, so we hit something apparently, but it looked like we were doing a lot of missing. So Chant is still alive, but actually that's it. It's just that guy. Oh, that's not very good. I think we hit them by accident. Clan Rat Spears, Skaven Slaves, Clan Rat Spears, Skaven Slaves. There's not a lot going on, is there? Okay, that's annoying. I guess I'll just leave them? I'll just leave them to run around. There's not a lot to attack, honestly. There's nothing that seems really juicy. So I guess I'll just leave it to its own devices. It's not getting many kills, but it's not going to. It's not going to get many kills. There's no big, juicy clumps of powerful units that need murdering. We did most of our damage last time, it seems. Although this is all looking rather juicy, isn't it? Although it's mostly Skaven Slave Slingers, so okay, not that juicy as it turns out. Alright, you dragged into that fight now then. They've used Blessed with Filth. Let's shoot them in the rear and see if we can do some extra damage. Ah, I was about to hit with the Rune of Wrath and Ruin, take them down quickly. Because they are keeping these Dwarf Warriors very busy and actually doing some good damage to them. Which is, a pain, really. Any menace below? Just free units, you know, free units for the enemy is never fun. Oh, you're up and no one's interested in fighting you. Go on, go get him, boy. There's a lad. Alright, now let's hit these guys. Excellent, love that, big fan. So yeah, you guys doing great. Ooh, good hit. Alright, go for those Night Runners then. And obviously we got the cooldown, means I can't do any more spells yet. Oh, and we made it through. Miners really are good at this. They really are good at this. So I'm going to try and just charge in. That was a bad spell, Chant. That was a bad spell. I mean, it's probably Chant, but I just figured that it's Chant. I don't know why. I just feel like that fits it, like fits the Skaven a little better. Yeah, I don't know why. Don't know why. Alright, let's give everyone a attack bonus. And it's going to be a long time before we can use Rune of Wrath and Ruin on any of these clumps, which is a shame. But you can climb up now, can't you? Yeah, let's get you up here, mate. Let's get you up. And you lot, let's move you over a bit. Because they're still shooting us with this tower, which is a pain. But what can you do, eh? Ooh, 100 kills for you, nice. So you should be getting a lot of kills, Thorek. At least you should be. So, are you doing damage over time to these guys? Yes, yes you are. It's just not widely apparent. The spell effect doesn't last forever, it seems. Alright, 30 more seconds and we can start blasting this bunch with a juicy Rune of Wrath and Ruin, which would actually be tremendous. Oh, you know what would be tremendous? Blowing them all up with blasting charges. I don't know why we haven't done that yet already. Ooh, that was quite a good cast. Did a lot of friendly fire, but it did hit us a lot. Go on. Go on, throw your blasting charges. Good boys. 70 kills so far, not bad. You're gonna throw some more? There we go. Attaboy. Let's give all these guys some extra armor to keep them going. And yeah, you need to run over here so you can blast them with one of these. You need to get closer, annoyingly. Okay, I feel like those blasting charges did a lot of work very quickly, and Thorek is getting so many kills out of the deal. So many. See, the blasting charges do good spread damage. Like, it spreads the damage over a bunch of things, right? Because it's explosive damage. So everything gets damaged a bit. So every model in a unit is suddenly very, very hurt. And because they're all taking damage over time, a bunch of them are reduced to like 2 or 3 health. Then you have that tick of damage from Thorek that hits every unit at the same time. You know, rather than damaging like one model at a time. And so it just racks up a bunch of kills. In fact, I don't even want to hit them with that anymore. God, you know what? Never mind. Let's give him extra attack. So we are probably going to lose a few miners. Wow, Thorek's up to 250 kills. Good lad. Good lad. And you lot, let's hit these Skaven slave spears. I know it's only Skaven slaves, but it's damage at the end of the day. Alright, you get stuck in down here too, yeah? And, oh, there's some Plague Monk Sensor Bearers. These guys definitely deserve to get blown up. So they have 0 armor right now. So these blasting charges should do some handsome damage to him. If you can hit them at all, I'm not quite sure where you're throwing those. Seems a little unusual. Attack bonuses for everybody. And you can see they are suffering the damage over time. Oh well, we'll get him eventually. Presumably. Yeah, come on boys. You can climb up there. It looks like they've used all their menaces below, so I'll move up. 140 kills for you, not bad. Thorek is over 300 kills now. Nice. Pretty great. They've shattered. So yeah, Thorek's doing great. Thorek's doing really well. I am a big fan. I like Thorek. But seriously, to be able to have that rune just as an ability that he could buy is marvelous. It really is. It really is great. So yeah, we'll be able to give that rune to somebody else as well. So we can have a couple of people with that rune. Okay. The runes are cast. Well, cast them harder. Go on. we just knocked ourselves over with that rune, which is hilarious. But it has allowed us to get into a fight with this guy a little bit harder, so that's good news. Alright, keep moving. Yeah, I just don't see any resistance now. It's just a matter of time. Come on, Gotri, you can do it. I haven't even bothered equipping any runes to him yet. So we will need to do that at some point. Alright, how you doing, Thorek? 360, it's pretty good. Give everyone some additional armor, because you guys are looking a little worse for wear. That's army losses. Job's a good one. So yeah, 364 kills for Thorek Ironbrow. I really like the Rune of Smite, coupled with blasting charges. Just everything that damages everything at once. Just suddenly, it gets to a point where just everything drops dead. It's fantastic. Alright. So those guys should disappear, because that's their second loss. That was Skrolk's army. So we got Dawnstone, lovely. That's quite nice to have. Extra physical resist for Thorek. Means he can stay in combat longer, sapping everything of his health. Sounds great to me. We're going to occupy it, obviously. So, kill them. Pestilence has been destroyed. Right, now, it's a race to get to Sentinel of Time before Southern Sentinels do. I really hope we get there before they do. I really do. But not much we can do to swing things, sadly. So I could get some exotic animals. I would like the money, but also I think we need to just go with the barley field to get the growth as quickly as possible. We can start getting the more, you know, income-based things soon. But right now we can support a pretty handsome army. Certainly one that's capable of doing anything we need it to. You know, straight out the gate. So as long as we can support this one army, I don't really mind if our income is slightly delayed, especially because we're on our way to getting a second gold mine. So I'm happy to get growth, get that big investment so we can start getting more impressive things sooner. Here we go. Let's go harden armor, shall we? We'll go harden armor so everyone can have a little more armor. Sharpened weapons might be better because we do have a bunch of melee attack buffs. But again, I'm doing this so I can get Thorek over 200 armor, just so we can say we've done it. So this should put him up to 200 armor at the start of next turn. So that's going to be pretty great. But sharpened weapons, that is probably better, I think, for Thorek's army generally, because of the emphasis of, frenzy and things. The more melee attack we have, the more likely we're going to be able to hit things, and so if we can hit people harder, then that's a good thing, right? So it's a nice synergy. But what's lovely is if we get a second runesmith, which I definitely want to get as soon as we can, we'll have one doing hardened armor and one doing sharpened weapons. So we'll have 3 different characters blasting rune spells everywhere. Oh, also, yes, we bought a lot of runes, so we got all the notifications for these with their own write-up, which I'm not going to do every single one because I already spend quite a lot of time talking, certainly at the start of campaigns. So, so one thing I do want to do is get Gotri equipped with a bunch of stuff. Let's give him Frenzy, and let's also give him the Dazed effect, and let's give him extra armor as well. Sounds good. And sadly, he doesn't have any, no followers we can give him. Talisman, though. Nope, nothing. We really need more items. This is why I did scouting. We really want more items to equip on these guys. I know we have 1 million runes, but I want more than 1 million runes. I want 1 million runes and a bunch of other stuff. So, okay, it's going to be a race to Sentinel of Time. I really hope we make it there, and after that, we can declare war on these perfidious Dark Elves. Yeah, that sounds good to me. Brilliant. Let's end the turn. Alright, so, the Skaven attack. Defeat the following Lord's army in battle. So, Vomic Hemlock here. You'll notice he's just Skaven. That's what he is. Just the race is just Skaven. This is an army that's been spawned because we put our tongues back together. So this will keep happening. They will keep sending forces to try and stop us, which is very, very cool. So, the Skaven pestilence descends. A tide of vermin appears mere moments after the artifact has been reforged. Have they been lurking and lying in wait, or is the timing a simple coincidence? Regardless, the Runelord cares not for their motives. The Ratkin are a familiar foe, and these blighters will die like all the rest. And that'll give us a damaged missive, which will be a big bonus for casualty replenishment rate. So what is a little... Really? Really, guys? So I will be ending the episode, and, well, kind of. I will be cutting to show you the Ogre Mercenary stuff, because that hasn't triggered, but it turns up in an event similar to Gotrek and Felix on the campaign map. So the fact that Gotrek and Felix showed up, but the Ogre Mercenaries didn't, is really annoying. But I would like to take these guys. I would like to have these in my army. It's just more dwarf stuff running around, you know? So, sounds fun to me. So I guess Hugrim is going to have to jump over here and grab that. So let's send him over here now. Next turn we can grab him. So, recent conversation in the local tavern has been centered around a pair of powerful mercenaries rumoured to be travelling through nearby provinces. The famous dwarf slayer known as Gotrek Gurnison and his human companion, the chronicler Felix Jaeger. Some in the Empire consider Gotrek and Felix to be outlaws, but the duo are known to have slain some of the most insurmountable adversaries known to the forces of order. Should they be persuaded to join your cause, they will be truly formidable allies. And we have Clad Brakak, which is search any ruined settlement for treasure. Sadly, this isn't a ruined settlement anymore. I'm very upset, you little swines. Grrr. So, for so long has Thorek waded through the dense jungles of Lustria, crushing Raki skulls with every swing of his mighty hammer, Clad Brakak, that the powerful runes embedded within it have slowly begun to fade. With their magic dwindling so far from the forges of KARAK AZUL, he must scour the ancient ruins hidden deep amidst the wilderness and gather the necessary materials to build an almighty smithy upon which to strike new runes. So, yep, search for treasure. Easy peasy. Not sure what to do now. I think we just need to sit tight for replenishment because we can't take that. So, yeah, it's gonna be a pretty boring turn, I'm afraid. We're just gonna be ending the turn here, but we're gonna be ending the episode. But also not really, because I'm gonna be cutting to show you the Ogre Mercenaries stuff because I think that's important. But I'll get some of the spiel out of the way first, shall I? So comment, like, and subscribe. There'll be plenty more of this covered. There will be a slight pause due to the fact that it's a timed embargo. I can only show so much stuff before I have to stop showing you so much stuff, until we hit another date, and then I can show you more stuff again. So there will be a pause after the 3rd episode of this campaign, and then it'll be a different campaign. That's right, it'll be the DLC content embargo, so I'll be able to show you something from the DLC, not just the free LC, and then I'll be able to show you everything, and so we'll get this campaign going again. So I know it's a bit annoying to be stop and start, but be sure to hit the notification bell so you can be notified for the rest of the campaign, you know? And you can see the episodes as soon as they're aired and get all the hot goss. So anyway, yep, comment, like, subscribe. If you want to pre-order the DLC, go to nexus.gg/Janet. It helps me out immensely, and so please do that if you're going to buy it anyway. It just gives you a Steam key, so, you know, no problems there. And yeah, remember to walk the dog, and I'll see you after the mercenary stuff. Toodaloo.
Day 3.
Ogres, my lord. These brutish nomads are as strong as they are stupid. But do not underestimate them. They are hardy warriors and will cannibalize any foe that dares to cross them.
Wonderful stuff. So there's a little camp there now. Ogre Mercenaries arrive with a great crump. A large group of ogres has appeared nearby. Though generally expected to attack and plunder any settlement they come across, it seems that they do not seek a fight. At least not immediately, but are looking for the most lucrative call to battle they can find, wholly untroubled by morality or questions of good and evil. Ogre Mercenaries should be a great boost to your battle ranks, should you choose to hire them.
Ironbrow.
So here we go. So now that I've walked onto the ogre camp, we now get a event talking with tyrants. So, cautiously entering the Ogre Mercenaries camp, you realise it is not just a single ogre tribe that have arrived, but 3 separate tyrants, marching their armies as one. Furthermore, it appears that each tribe has its own combat preference. The likely reason they have grouped together...
Cowardly Elky.
Calm down, mate. I'm reading. Shush. The likely reason they have grouped together, a reasonable bribe, should be enough to convince one of the 3 tyrants to lend you some of his tribe's considerable fat-laden muscle. So here we get a choice of hiring the Head Eaters tribe. All ogres excel in the use of bludgeoning weapons, but the Head Eaters are particularly efficient at it. So here we can get 2 ogres with dual weapons. We can get 1 Man-Eaters regiment with great weapons. Or, with the Death Belchers tribe, the Death Belchers have learned that only the foolhardy would dare fight ogres up close, so have honed their pistol skills. So you get 2 just standard ogres, and a Man-Eater with ogre pistol. So ogres are the sort of the basic units, Man-Eaters are the, well, they're the mercenaries, basically. Man-Eaters are mercenaries that you see around the world. So... yeah, these ones are basically like, they look more like pirates. They're laden with spoils of war, right? You know, all the various cultural emblems and shields from the Empire and all sorts of random stuff all over them. So they're slightly more elite, they're more experienced and have earned the title of Man-Eater. And then finally we have the Mournfang cavalry over here. So the right of ogrehood to break Mournfangs is vehemently observed by the Horned Guts tribe, masters of the heaviest shock cavalry in the world. So this is what I'm going to go for, just because the idea of having cavalry playing as the dwarfs is a big deal. But all these units are really cool. They're all really interesting, and we will see the enemy field them as well. It's not just us, but any faction can field them. So we will at some point be facing off against some of these. So it will be pretty cool. Also, this event doesn't just happen once. This can keep happening. The more sort of the more battles you win, basically, it ups their chance of turning up, because they always turn up after battles. So yeah, pretty cool. Pretty cool stuff. So we're going to get the the Horned Guts tribe, which will be the Hired Gut tribe now. Excellent. So here, you can see, recruit Ogre Mercenaries. This panel is now clickable, and you can see the different mercenaries available. So pretty cool. So the Man-Eaters with great weapons. So you can get Man-Eaters with great weapons. You've got the Man-Eaters with Ogre Pistols, which, yeah, just all big armor-piercing damage. The great weapons are anti-large, because everything is armor-piercing. So usually great weapons would be an armor-piercing thing. For them it's anti-large, same as Minotaurs. And you'll notice it's all unit counts of 16, so very small unit counts. 12 for the Mournfang cavalry, but again, big weapon strength and a good charge bonus. A lot of armor-piercing. Very, very scary indeed. Also, ogres with dual weapons. These are the anti-infantry variant. Still armor-piercing though. And finally, just standard ogres that don't specialise in anything, but they still have a bunch of armor piercing. And they still hit like trucks. But the most interesting thing with these guys is all of them have this ability called Ogre Charge. So when attacking braced charged defenders, this unit only loses half of its charge bonus. So, for instance, these guys, we have Expert Charge Defense, right, on this Rune of Stoicism. So if the Longbeards are braced and they get charged, it negates all charge damage. With these guys, it'll only negate half, which is really cool. So against braced units, Ogres are really good for breaking that bracing, and then you can follow up with other units. So they're very cool. Very cool indeed.